Hello, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to another video. And without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Cowboys speedy rookie in danger of losing roster spot. The Cowboys came up with their third straight must-win victory on Thanksgiving against the Chiefs to pull themselves to 651 and keep their slim playoff hopes alive. Things don't necessarily get easier as the Lions loom in another Thursday night matchup this week. The Cowboys had another good game running the football, totaling 137 yards and moving their season total to 1,462 yards, which is 13th in the NFL. The bulk of those, though, did come on one play, a 43-yard touchdown run for Malik Davis, the on-again, off-again undrafted veteran who has spent 3 years bouncing between the team's roster and the practice squad. In doing so, Davis firmed up a role as the Cowboys' top backup to Javonte Williams, and that combined with a weekend transaction is likely trouble for the future of rookie Jaden Blue, the team's 5th-round pick from Texas this year. Blue had a brief crack at earning a spot in the running back pecking order, playing 4 games in October and going for 65 yards on 22 carries. The Cowboys have, by coach Brian Schottenheimer's own admission, been less than impressed with Blue's practice habits and his work with special teams, while Davis has been steadier. Thus, the Cowboys have been giving Davis run and not Blue. The Cowboys this weekend added another running back to the mix, Israel Anaconda, a former 5th-rounder of the New York Jets in 2023. He has bounced through stints with the 49ers and most recently the Packers, but has not been able to crack through with NFL chances since he had 22 attempts for 70 yards in his first season. Anaconda was signed to the practice squad. Of course, if the Cowboys were happy with Blue, they probably would not have signed Anaconda. There are other spots on the roster that could use added depth, no doubt. But as the Cowboys fans site Inside the Star pointed out, at the very least, Blue now has competition just to stay on the roster. The site noted, "One has to wonder if the addition of Anaconda shifts the competitive landscape. Blue is no longer the lone developmental back on the roster. For the first time this season, he has another running back on the roster with the same type of skills to push him for the future running back 3 or running back 4 role. It could be that the Cowboys adding another running back amounts only to lighting more of a fire under Blue, a player the team was excited about in training camp. He was not the featured back wall while with the Longhorns, but he was an effective change of pace and speed guy and was the second fastest running back at 4.38 in the 40-yard dash in this year's draft." Latest George Pickens contract update from Cowboys EVP Stephen Jones is promising. The Dallas Cowboys made a splash during the NFL offseason by acquiring star wide receiver George Pickens in a trade with the Pittsburgh Steelers following the NFL draft. At the time, it seemed like a risky move for a receiver in a contract year. Pickens came to Dallas with questions about his maturity and what he would bring to the locker room, but he has been a model citizen during his time with the team. Not only has Pickens developed great chemistry with star quarterback Dak Prescott and a strong relationship with fellow star pass catcher CeeDee Lamb, but he has exceeded expectations on the field. Because of his success on the field, Pickens is due for a massive payday in free agency. Many have questioned whether Dallas will open up the checkbook to pay Pickens, use the franchise tag, or let him walk. But Cowboys EVP Stephen Jones has made it clear what the team hopes to do. If Dallas has its way, Pickens will remain a Cowboy. Anyone watching him play knows what Jerry Jones and I want, it's to get him signed, Jones said during an appearance on 105.3 The Fan. Obviously, we have work to do there, but certainly George has just been an amazing pickup for us, and he's doing everything the right way. And certainly a guy that we'd like to have around here. That is music to Cowboys fans' ears. Pickens has added another dimension to the offense that has made the passing game virtually unstoppable. With Pickens and Lamb both on the field, it is impossible for defenses to lock them both down. That has led to Pickens having a career year and Prescott entering the NFL MVP conversation. If the Cowboys can lock up Pickens for the future, the core of the offense is set, and the team can spend its draft capital and resources to address holes on the defensive side of the ball to round out the roster moving forward. It would be a win-win for everyone involved. Max Crosby sure looks furious. Raiders shut down Cowboys trade talks. The Dallas Cowboys blockbuster trade for Quinn and Williams makes it easy to forget that Jerry Jones inquired about Raiders superstar pass rusher Max Crosby. It's unclear which player Jones looked into first, but it seems that he lucked out that Las Vegas shut down any trade talks involving Crosby. That isn't to say that Crosby wouldn't have made a big impact, but having the best defensive tackle room in the NFL sure appears more valuable than having one Pro Bowl caliber pass rusher. It would behoove Jones to circle back to Crosby in the off-season. At the rate the Raiders' season is unraveling, Crosby might walk back his loyalty to the franchise. The four-time Pro Bowler seemed to reach his breaking point in Sunday's loss to the LA Chargers when he shoved Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert after LA converted a game-killing first down in the fourth quarter. The shove occurred well after the play was over. Cowboys trade target Max Crosby looks miserable with the Raiders. Crosby plays with arguably the highest motor of any player in the league. He is absolutely relentless, but he never crosses the line of being dirty. In fact, the term dirty has never been associated with Crosby. He's been a class act throughout his career. Shoving Herbert, though, was a loser move by the 28-year-old. While Herbert may have embellished the hit to draw a flag, Crosby blindsided the QB as he jogged past. It wasn't a violent shove by any stretch of the imagination, but it just can't happen. He let his frustration get the best of him, and you can't really blame him. The Raiders are once again a basement dweller. They are 2-10 and own the second worst point differential of any team. They have not won a playoff game since 2002 and have only made the playoffs twice in the last 22 years. Only the Dolphins, who haven't won a playoff game in 24 years, have a longer playoff win drought than Las Vegas. It sure looks like Crosby is fed up with all of the losing. That would not be the case if you were on the Cowboys, who've won 3 in a row since the trade deadline. The future in Dallas suddenly looks extremely bright now that the defense is playing at a functional level. It is fair to wonder if Crosby regrets remaining loyal to the Raiders. If he demands a trade in the off-season, you have to think Jerry Jones will give Mark Davis another call.